So this is the outline of the presentation. Um, I would like to start saying that we, in Mozambique, we have started to notify partners years ago in the PMTCT clinics, because the providers in those services, they always training to say to the patients that they have to bring their partners to test. So in the 2040, the Ministry of Health sent a real orientation to offer RT to discordant partners. So on that way, we started to reinforce to the providers to bring or to offer counseling testing to the partners. In 2050, we finalized and began to implement new HTC guidelines. We in these HTC guidelines, we have some priorities to find people who are living with HIV, and one of these priorities is to do the index case testing. So with index case testing, we can see the, I hope you can see, the prevalence with the index case testing implementation in the community and in the health facility. So because of that, we can find that there is a high prevalence when we test partners of people who are living with HIV, so we begin to reinforce those strategies. Our expectation is at least to test at least one of the index case patient, and to find a high prevalence, of course, because we are testing people, sexual partners of people living with HIV, and to minimize to test everyone, because now in Mozambique, until we finalized the HCC guideline, we were testing everyone in the community, in the health facility. So now we are focused on to find people who are living with HIV. So we hope that we will find a high prevalence with those contacts. As I say at the beginning, we are working with many strategies to find those partners. But now we take two models, one in the community, another one in the health facility. In the community, we work with GPIGO model, and in the health facility with ITEC model, which are different, but the real or the main objective of this is to find those partners. Of course, other partners are working hardly to emphasize those strategies. That's why on HTC new package trainer, we have a model about index case testing, so the providers are trained to offer counseling testing for the sexual partners. This is a programmatic results from GPIGO. The principal thing we find here is that with index case, we test the partner and the children of the index case. So we found that just 1% of children, just 1% of children on index case were found positive. But we can see that the partners, the sorry, that the prevalence of partners were 27%. We didn't find all the partner of index case, but this low number, we can see that the prevalence of HIV are very high. So with ITEC, we conduct a study in the health facility in two phases. First, we did a passively patient one initiative, and the second phase, we try to find those partners with a counselor's assistant. We work with the lay counselors and peer educators to help the patient or the index case to disclose their results and invite the partners to counseling and testing. The results with the index case in the health facility, we can see that when we put the lay counselors and peer educators and the providers, when they spend much time with the patient and reinforce the importance to disclosure their diagnosis and to bring their partners to the test, we can see that we can notificate. We increase the notification of partner and we increase the testing of those partners. So now we have invite ITEC to implement these strategies in 2 health facilities per province nationally, and we're beginning to implement this strategy in those provinces, in all provinces of Mozambique, and we'll train all HCC implementing partners to help the provider in those facilities to notificate and test the sexual partners. And this is the assisted partner notification training model. We can see that in these training models, we have a gender-based violence, because during the study we found that many patients were not able to reveal their diagnosis because they were victim of violence. So in this training package of training, we include the gender-based violence for the lay counselors and providers. Know that when they don't have to force someone to disclose their result, or when they find some signal of violence, they have to refer for the gender-based violence clinics in the health facility. So we'll try to implement the new guidelines of notification partner, and we learned that we have to train our providers, to train our peer educators and counselors to spend more time of this strategy, because until now they only give an invite and say, bring your husband or bring your woman to test. It's not easy for anyone to disclose diagnosis without any assistance. Thank you. Okay. These are our lessons learned, and finalizing, I will say obrigado. Thank you.